I gave my sister a $800,000 beach house. Then her husband's family took control, forced her out. So I activated the contract clause that returned everything back to her name. Hey family, your support keeps these stories alive. Subscribe, say hi in the comments and tell us your city or country. Let's get into today's story. I signed the deed with trembling hands, watching my baby sister Gloria's eyes fill with tears. $800,000. My entire inheritance from Grandma Susie, transformed into keys to a beach house with white shutters and ocean views that stretched forever. Julie, I can't. This is too much, Gloria whispered, her voice breaking. You deserve this, I said, squeezing her hand. After everything you've been through with Colin's family, you need your own space. Somewhere they can't control you. Gloria had married Colin Madison 3 years ago. I'd warned her about his mother, Diane, the way she criticized everything Gloria did, from her natural hair to her career choices. But Gloria was in love, and love makes you ignore red flags the size of billboards. The beach house had been my escape plan for both of us. I was a corporate attorney, single, childless by choice. Gloria was a kindergarten teacher with dreams bigger than her salary. When Grandma Susie passed, leaving me everything, I knew exactly what to do. There's just one thing, I said, pulling out the contract I'd drafted. I need you to sign this. It's a safety clause. If anyone tries to claim ownership or force you out, the property reverts to me immediately, and I can restore it to your name alone. Gloria barely glanced at it. You think Colin would? I think his family would try anything, I interrupted. Please. Just sign it. For me. She signed. That signature would become our salvation, though neither of us knew it then. 2 weeks later she moved in. 1 month after that the Madisons arrived. The call came at midnight. Gloria's voice was barely above a whisper. They're here. All of them. Diane, Colin's father Gerald, his brother Devon and his wife, their 3 kids. Julie, they have suitcases. I sat up in bed, my lawyer instincts immediately alert. Did Colin invite them? He says it's just for the weekend. But Diane's already rearranged my kitchen. She threw out my grandmother's cast iron skillet because it was rusty and disgusting. That skillet wasn't rusty, it was seasoned for 40 years. The pain in her voice cut through me. I'm coming over tomorrow. No, don't. It'll cause problems. Colin says I'm overreacting. That phrase, you're overreacting. I'd heard it before from men who wanted their wives to accept disrespect quietly. Gloria. I have to go. Someone's knocking on my bedroom door. In my own house, Julie. They're knocking on my bedroom door like I'm a guest. She hung up before I could respond. I drove there anyway the next morning, arriving to find Devon's kids jumping on Gloria's white couch with muddy shoes. Diane was in the kitchen cooking breakfast like she owned the place. Julie. Colin greeted me with forced enthusiasm. Surprise visit? Where's Gloria? Upstairs. She's being sensitive about Mom helping out. Helping. That's what he called it. I found Gloria in her bedroom, the one room that still felt like hers, crying into her pillow. It was supposed to be a weekend, she sobbed. It's been 4 days. I held her while she cried and something cold settled in my chest. This wasn't a visit. This was a takeover. By week 2, Diane had replaced all of Gloria's furniture in the living room. That modern stuff was so cold, she told Gloria over coffee as if she'd done her a favor. This is more family-friendly. Gloria texted me photos. Her sleek coastal decor had been replaced with dark, heavy furniture that blocked the ocean view. The light, airy space I'd imagined for her now felt like Diane's suburban living room. Say something to Colin, I urged during our lunch meeting. I tried. He says I'm being ungrateful. His family is helping us save money on childcare when we have kids. That's why they're staying, to be helpful. You're not even pregnant. Gloria stared at her untouched salad. Diane asks me about it every morning. Any news? You know, Colin wants at least 4 children. Madison men have strong seed. She actually said that to me, Julie. At breakfast. I felt my blood pressure rising. This is your house. It's our house. Colin is my husband. No. I leaned forward. It's your house. Legally, only your name is on that deed. Remember? Something flickered in Gloria's eyes. Hope, maybe, or remembrance of the woman she used to be before the Madisons started grinding her down. That afternoon I drove past the beach house. Gerald had set up a smoker in the backyard, the one Gloria had specifically asked to keep clear for her yoga practice. Black smoke billowed toward the neighbors' pristine properties. I took photos. Documented everything. My lawyer brain was already building a case, even if I didn't know what for yet. The war hadn't started, but battle lines were being drawn. They changed the locks. Gloria's text came through during a deposition. I excused myself and called her immediately. What do you mean they changed the locks? I went to the farmer's market this morning. When I came back, my key didn't work. Diane answered the door and said they upgraded the security system because the neighborhood watch reported suspicious activity. She made me wait on my own porch for 15 minutes while she verified it was me. My hand tightened around my phone. Where's Colin? At work. He says his mother is just concerned about safety. But Julie, she gave everyone new keys except me. I watched her hand one to Devon's wife, and she doesn't even live here. Get a key made. She says the locks are special order, can't be duplicated without authorization. And Colin agrees with her. That was it. The line they'd crossed that I couldn't ignore. I canceled my afternoon appointments and showed up at the beach house with a locksmith at 3 p.m. Diane opened the door, her expression shifting from surprise to cold fury. This is a private residence. It's my sister's residence. I'm the deed holder. Colin is her husband. He has rights. Not to her property, he doesn't. Colin. I called past her. Get down here. Now. He appeared looking sheepish. Julie, this is between me and Gloria. No, I said, my voice sharp enough to cut glass. This is about respect. You change those locks back today or I'm activating the contract clause. Colin paled. You wouldn't. Try me. The locks were changed within 2 hours. But I saw the hatred in Diane's eyes and I knew this wasn't over. Diane launched her counterattack through the family network. My phone exploded with messages from relatives I barely knew. Why are you tearing this family apart? Aunt Bertha, Colin's aunt, texted. Gloria's lucky to have such a caring mother-in-law, wrote someone named Cousin Aaron. You're poisoning her mind against family. The group chat Colin had added me to was vicious. Devon called me a bitter, childless woman using money to control people. His wife chimed in. Some women can't stand to see other women happy in marriage. But the worst came from Diane herself in a voice message that dripped with false sweetness. Julie, dear, I understand you're protective. But Gloria is a Madison now. She needs to learn how family works. Your interference is causing Colin stress, and stress affects his health. Is that what you want? To make your brother-in-law sick? I saved everything. Every text, every voice message, every manipulative word. Gloria stopped answering my calls for 3 days. When she finally responded, her voice was different. Flat, defeated. Maybe they're right. Maybe I am being selfish. It's a big house. They're family. Gloria, listen to yourself. You're afraid to use your own kitchen. I'm not afraid. It's easier to let Diane cook. She enjoys it. What about what you enjoy? Silence. Then quietly, I don't remember what that is anymore. That night I lay awake, staring at my ceiling. My baby sister was disappearing and I was watching it happen. The woman who used to sing while painting, who taught children with boundless energy, was being erased by people who saw her as an incubator and a free vacation home. Something had to give. Someone had to break. I found Gloria at her school during lunch break, sitting alone in her classroom. Her eyes were red-rimmed, her shoulders hunched. They want me to quit, she said before I could speak. Diane says once I'm pregnant, working isn't appropriate. Madison women focus on family. She's already picked out baby names. All boys, all family names. Nothing I suggested was suitable. Gloria. Gerald told Colin that teaching is why I'm not pregnant yet. Too much stress. They've scheduled me a doctor's appointment without asking. To Check my fertility. Julie, I don't even want kids right now. We've been married 3 years. I wanted to enjoy being married first. She started crying and my heart shattered. There's food missing from the fridge. The things I buy for myself. Devon's kids scream until midnight, and when I asked them to quiet down, Diane said I was being hostile to children. That maybe God was making sure I couldn't have kids because I didn't like them enough. That's abuse, I said flatly. Is it? Gloria looked at me with hollow eyes. Or am I just weak? That's what Colin says. That I'm too sensitive. Too selfish. That his family gave up their comfortable home to help us, and I'm acting ungrateful. Their comfortable home? Gloria, they're living rent-free in an $800,000 beach house that I gave you. They gave up nothing. But it's Colin's house too now, isn't it? Marriage means what's mine is his. Not legally. Not according to the deed. I grabbed her hands. You signed that contract for a reason. Let me enforce it. She pulled away. And lose my marriage? Choose between my sister and my husband. Choose between yourself and people who are erasing you. Gloria stood gathering her things. I can't. I love him, Julie. Despite everything, I love him. I watched her walk away and I knew the breaking point was coming soon. The photo came through Gloria's Instagram, except she hadn't posted it. Diane had tagged her in a family photo taken in our beautiful beach house, with a caption about blessed Madison family memories. Gloria wasn't in the photo. She'd been cropped out of a picture taken in her own home. I drove there immediately, not caring that it was 9 p.m. on a Thursday. The house was lit up like Christmas, music blasting, cars packed in the driveway. Through the windows I could see people I didn't recognize. Diane's church friends apparently, because one woman wore a shirt that said, Prayer Warrior. Gloria answered the door. Behind her, someone had spilled red wine on her white carpet. Diane's hosting Bible study, Gloria explained mechanically. She invited 40 people. Didn't ask. Just invited them. Said it was her ministry duty to share our blessings. Our blessings? This isn't her house. Julie, please. Not tonight. But I pushed past her, my rage finally boiling over. I found Diane in the kitchen, holding court like a queen, talking about my beach house and my accommodations to her fawning friends. Everyone out, I announced. This event is over. Diane's smile was ice. Excuse me. You heard me. Get out. All of you. This is my son's home. This is Gloria's home. And I'm the deed holder. Leave now or I'm calling the police for trespassing. The room went silent. 40 pairs of eyes stared at me, some shocked, some angry, some calculating. Colin appeared, fury darkening his face. You have no right. I have every right. Section 3, Clause B of the contract your wife signed. In the event of third-party interference that compromises the primary resident's peace and autonomy, the grantor retains the authority to enforce occupancy limits. That's me. I'm the grantor. And I'm enforcing. The police arrived 20 minutes later. I'd called them myself and I'd brought copies of the deed, the contract and photographic evidence of the Madison's gradual takeover. Officer Lincoln listened to both sides. Diane claimed family rights. Gerald shouted about discrimination. Devon called me slurs I won't repeat. But when Colin couldn't produce any ownership documents, when Gloria admitted she hadn't invited anyone, when the officer saw the fear in my sister's eyes, he made his decision. Ma'am, he said to Diane, you need to gather your belongings and leave. This is my son's home. No, ma'am. According to these legal documents, this is Ms. Gloria Madison's sole property. She has the right to decide who stays here. Everyone turned to Gloria. In that moment I saw 42 people waiting for her to fold, to apologize, to be the accommodating woman they'd spent months training her to be. Gloria's voice trembled. I want. Say it, I whispered. Please, baby girl, say it. Tears streamed down her face. I want my house back. I want everyone out except Colin and me. Diane's expression turned venomous. You ungrateful little. That's enough, Officer Lincoln interrupted. You have 1 hour to pack essentials. Anything left can be retrieved later with proper notice. The next hour was chaos. Diane threw things. Gerald threatened lawsuits. Devon's wife called Gloria names that made the officer threaten arrest. But slowly, painfully they left. Until only Colin remained, standing in the living room that was finally empty again. "You've destroyed my family," he said quietly. Gloria looked at him, really looked at him, maybe for the first time in months. "No. Your family destroyed us. And you let them. If you make me choose." "I'm not making you choose. But I am choosing me." He left that night. And Gloria collapsed into my arms and sobbed. The next 72 hours were brutal. Gloria's phone exploded with messages. Hundreds of them. The Madison family group chat was a cesspool of hatred. "You'll regret this," Diane messaged. "Colin will see what you really are." "Family doesn't abandon family," Gerald wrote. "But you're not family anymore. You never were." Devon was more direct. "Hope that house is worth dying alone in, bitch." I documented everything and filed for a restraining order. But the damage to Gloria was deeper than legal remedies could fix. She stopped eating, stopped showering, sat on the beach for hours, staring at waves like they held answers she couldn't find. "What if they're right?" she whispered one morning. "What if I'm the problem? I took you from your inheritance. I ruined Colin's relationship with his family. All because I couldn't just adapt." I turned to her, fury and heartbreak warring in my chest. "You mean disappear? Because that's what they wanted. They wanted you gone and your house theirs. You don't know that. Don't I?" I pulled out my phone, showing her screenshots I'd been saving. "Look at this. Colin's brother posted about selling the beach house 6 months ago. When it's ours," he wrote, "we're flipping it and splitting the profit. They've been planning this." Gloria's face crumbled. "Colin knew." "I don't know. But his family did. And he chose them over you every single time you tried to tell him what was happening." She was silent for a long moment. Then, "He called me this morning. Said he wants to work things out. But his family has to be welcome in our home whenever they visit." "And you said?" "I said I'd think about it." She looked at me with devastated eyes. "Because I love him, Julie. Even after everything, I still love him." "Is that pathetic?" "It's human. But love shouldn't cost you yourself." I hired a private investigator. Call it paranoia, call it protection, I didn't care. Something about the Madisons' confidence, their entitlement, felt rehearsed. Practiced. Like they'd done this before. 3 weeks later, the investigator sent me a file that made my blood run cold. Colin had been married before. Her name was Alma. 6 years ago, she'd owned a condo in a desirable neighborhood. 2 years into the marriage, she'd added Colin to the deed as a gesture of trust. Within 18 months, Colin's family had moved in. 6 months after that, Alma had signed over her half during what Colin called an amicable divorce. She'd left with nothing. The condo was sold. The profits split between Colin and his family. There were others too. Not wives but girlfriends who'd owned property. Women who'd found themselves isolated, criticized, gradually eroded until they either fled or surrendered everything they'd built. The Madisons weren't just toxic. They were predators with a pattern. I showed Gloria the file on a Tuesday afternoon. We sat in the beach house living room, her living room finally hers again, and I watched her face transform from disbelief to horror to something harder. Colder. "He knew," she said finally. "Every time I complained, every time I said his family was too much, he knew exactly what they were doing because they'd done it before." Yes. The lock changes. The furniture. Making me feel crazy for wanting boundaries. It was all calculated. Yes. She stood up, walked to the window overlooking the ocean. The sunset painted everything gold, but her silhouette was dark against the light. "I want him to know that I know," she said quietly. "I want him to understand that I'm not Alma. I'm not any of the others who ran or gave up. I want him to face what he did." "Are you sure?" She turned to me, and for the first time in months I saw the sister I remembered. Strong, fierce, unbroken. "I'm sure." "Set up the meeting." Colin arrived thinking it was a reconciliation dinner. He brought flowers, white Susie's glorious favorites, though he'd forgotten that detail until his mother reminded him, based on the text I'd seen on Gloria's phone that he'd accidentally sent to her instead. We met at a restaurant, neutral territory. Colin smiled nervously, reaching for Gloria's hand across the table. She let him take it. "I've missed you," he said. "The house feels empty without you." "You haven't been at the house," Gloria responded evenly. "You've been staying with your parents." "I meant our home. Where we built our life together. The home you tried to steal." His smile faltered. "Gloria, that's not fair. My family was trying to help. Like you helped Alma?" The blood drained from his face. "What?" I slit the investigator's report across the table. "Alma Matthews. Married to you from 2017 to 2019. Owned a condo worth $350,000. Your family moved in 3 months into the marriage. She was isolated, criticized, gaslit. Sound familiar? She signed over her half of the property in the divorce. You and your family sold it and split the profit." Colin's jaw clenched. "That was different. That marriage was a mistake." "What about Jennifer? The girlfriend with the townhouse? Or Latasha, who owned the duplex? You had me investigated?" His voice Susie. "What kind of wife?" "The kind who survives you," Gloria interrupted. Her voice was steel wrapped in silk. "Did you ever love me, Colin? Or was I just another property investment?" "How can you ask me that? Answer the question." He looked between us, calculation flickering behind his eyes. "I loved you. I do love you. My family's methods might be traditional, but their intentions were good. We wanted to build something together." "You wanted to take what was mine and call it ours," Gloria corrected. "Then make ours become yours." Colin leaned back, his mask slipping completely. "You really want to do this? Fine. Yes, my family has strategies. Yes, we believe in building generational wealth. And yes, you were part of that plan. But I did love you, Gloria. I still do. Love doesn't destroy people. I wasn't destroying you. I was trying to make you stronger. To make you part of something bigger than your small, selfish world. But you and your sister," he glared at me, "you're so caught up in this Western individualism bullshit that you can't see family means sacrifice." "Sacrifice," Gloria repeated. "Is that what you call erasing me? Making me a stranger in my own home? Planning to divorce me and take everything like you did to Alma?" "I never filed divorce papers. But you would have. Eventually. Once I was broken enough." Something flickered in Colin's eyes. Not shame, but something worse. Satisfaction. Pride in his own cunning. "If you were that easy to break," he said softly, "maybe you weren't strong enough to be a Madison." The waiter choosing that moment to refill water glasses probably saved Colin from being assaulted. Gloria's hand had clenched into a fist, her whole body vibrating with rage. "Get out," she whispered. "Gloria. Get out. Sign the divorce papers my lawyer sends. Don't contact me again. And tell your family if they come within 500 feet of my property, I'm filing criminal harassment charges. You'll regret this. You'll be alone, broke, with nothing." "I'll be free," Gloria interrupted. "I'll be whole. I'll be me. That's everything." Colin left. The flowers stayed on the table, already wilting. Gloria didn't cry. She straightened her spine, met my eyes and smiled, small, sad but real. "I want to activate the contract clause," she said. "I want to make absolutely sure he can never claim anything. Consider it done." The divorce was finalized 6 months later. Colin fought for alimony, claiming he'd given up career opportunities to support Gloria's teaching career. The judge laughed him out of court. But the victory felt hollow. Gloria never recovered who she used to be. The woman who sang while cooking, who painted on weekends, who lit up rooms with her energy, she was gone. In her place was someone quieter, harder, more careful. She sold the beach house 1 year after the divorce. "Too many ghosts," she explained. "Every room reminds me of what I lost." "You didn't lose. You won." "Did I?" She looked at me with eyes that had seen too much. I lost 3 years of my life. I lost my trust and love. I lost the ability to believe people when they say they care about me. What exactly did I win, Julie? The money from the sale, after I took back my initial 800,000, gave Gloria freedom. She moved across the country, started over, built a life teaching children whose faces still made her smile even when nothing else did. But she never dated again. Never opened herself up. Never let anyone close enough to hurt her. I visit her twice a year. We talk on the phone weekly. We're as close as sisters can be when one carries the guilt of watching the other break and the other carries the weight of being broken. Colin remarried 2 years later, a woman with inherited property. I sent her an anonymous warning. I don't know if she believed it. The beach house sits empty now between owners. Sometimes I drive past it and remember the hope in Gloria's eyes when I first gave her the keys. I saved her financially. The contract worked perfectly, protected her assets, prevented theft, enforced her rights. But I couldn't save her heart. Couldn't restore the light that the Madisons extinguished. Couldn't give back the version of my sister who believed in love. If you've experienced manipulation or abuse in relationships, please reach out to support services. You deserve better. Your boundaries matter. Your peace matters. You matter. We won the battle. But we lost something irreplaceable in the fighting. And some wounds I've learned no contract clause can heal.